Let's get it. So we are going to move on. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of news and notes going on in Washington, but seems
It
to be
ain't
this
all
guy's
good.
right. This guy's favorite thing is stealing the headlines. Mr. Dan Snyder again is back in the news for this reason or that, but this could be it. This could be the big one. Will Dan Snyder, has he finally gone too far?
I think so.
Let's go.
And I think someone's out to get him. And they are coming with receipts. Yeah. Last week it was the ticket revenue scamming from other owners. This week it's the bombshell dropped by Congress or that committee. Yeah, I think this is going to do him in. I really do. Yeah. What do you think?
I am hoping for the best. Yeah. One of the things that, like you said, this now is with ticket scamming. This is the revenue. This is money. This is finances. And as we know, there's one thing that with these huge corporations, especially NFL, you don't play with is their money. You can do all that stuff with sexual harassment, and nobody bats an eye. But with money, it's an issue. It's not a perfect world, ladies and gentlemen. But the thing about it is, this is the time where they need to act. The guy that I said, or that they said came out was a guy that had worked for 20 some odd years, like 24 years or something like that. You know what I mean? And he had each thing, like they were hiding things and renaming them as other things and money going to different places. This has to be it. This has to be it. Mm-hmm. But can we be pessimistic? I mean, should we be pessimistic? This is not 100%. Nothing's 100%.
It's not. This time, though, we do have some receipts, just like you talked about. This came from the vice president of sales, of ticket sales. Everything else that's happened before, it has been, like you said, he's never been directly implicated. There's been allegations, but this time he is directly involved. They're a little bit of the ticket revenue, not sharing the same books with the other NFL owners. Sorry, I can't talk. You're right. Like, you don't mess with billionaires and millionaires' money. Like you said, they don't care about the sexual harassments. No. The NFL owners don't. They don't like it, but they don't care about it. But you just kept money from coming in my pocket. Now we got a problem with you, is what's going to happen. And the NFL, they have to be going after this, because what they did with this and the season ticket deposits, that's fraud. Mm-hmm. Like if you're not gonna get rid of an owner for fraud, what is it? What are you going to get rid of an owner for? Do they have to die? Is that the only way that we're going to not have owners? Is that the precedent we're going down?
That's where they're getting to.
So this one's kind of interesting, because this started under Jack Kent Cook. All right, where this is coming from, the new stuff. So when the Redskins built Jack Kent Cook Stadium, they made season ticket holders sign a 10-year lease. And remember, this is back in the day where if you and I wanted to go to a game, we had to know someone who didn't want to go that week. Yeah. There was no free marketplace to say, like, I feel like going to the Skins game this Sunday. Let's go. Right. All right. So Cook made them sign for these 10-year leases for your season tickets. You had to put down a deposit. What Washington has been doing is they haven't been returning these deposits. So if after your 10-year lease, you guys say, okay, I'm not interested anymore, 15 years later, you should be getting your money back. That's the purpose of a deposit. All right. They have been holding that money and putting it into a different account. Like you mentioned, when they were moving things around, they were calling that account juice. All right. And so now we have receipts and actual Snyder involved in this, because Snyder became the owner in 99. Yeah. So these didn't start happening until 2005 is when they started to become coming live. Now, some of this, the guy mentioned, is natural. You have a corporation, an office that signs up for season tickets. The person who signed up is no longer there, but the Redskins only had that person's email address. So when they try to contact them and they don't get a response, they go, well, money's ours. Okay. So some of that's natural, and they're not in trouble for that. But apparently he said every year Snyder and some other folks would come to him and say, they had like a code word, and they said like, okay, so who are the delinquents? Who are the ones who are season ticket holders? It's coming up and they're not attending games. Their tickets aren't getting scanned.
Yeah.
And that's when they would take the money early and put it into this other account and mark their account as being refunded. So like I said, he's got receipts finally. This could actually happen.
This could happen.
That's huge. The other one that they got in trouble for was the ticket revenue for non-NFL games.
Okay.
Having 2 books. So when they had Kenny Chesney concert, I was there.
Yes.
I remember that concert.
So
they would underreport their earnings, so the NFL owners didn't get some of that. The Navy Notre Dame game, they did that. So like they had 2 books. Like this has to be it, man. This has to be it.
This has to. You're absolutely right. And look, the evidence is right there in front of you. You know what I mean? Now, I agree with this. Anthony said, I think the reason the owners kind of remain quiet is because Danny Boy ain't the only one with skeletons.
That's exactly why. He knows where the bodies are buried.
Exactly.
And he will tell you where.
That's why he didn't get busted after the whole Gruden thing. You know, hey, Anton said, that's where the owners of the teams got to be the breaking point with league. I mean, hey, when you start,
it's their wallet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all they care about. They only care about their wallet.
The organization is cash strapped.
They ain't bringing enough revenue in right now for ticket sales. I can tell you that. This has got to be the problem with the league is they look and say, man, Washington, your ticket revenue is terrible. Why am I in Dallas funding you when I can bring in 90,000 people and you can't even bring 40?
Right.
You know,
that's the truth. That's the absolute truth. But look, hey, I would love to believe it. Now, like we said, we have the receipts now. It's all out there in front of us. Congress is involved. This. Hopefully it's going to happen. Now, my question is, we all know the move he made at the beginning of this year where he made his wife part owner. If he gets cut out and she still stays, do things change?
So that's
is that the escape plan? Like, yeah, take me out. She's still here. Business as usual.
The family's still running. I didn't even think about that. That could be an option. Like if they basically say you're out, but oh my gosh. Yeah. See, and this is, without any evidence, my only thing is she's been married to him throughout these 20 years. She sleeps next to him every single night. You mean to tell me she doesn't know like some of this stuff, or she doesn't know my husband is a shady and like, come on.
Yeah, she knows. Oh, she's got to know. And see, that's the other thing. She might be even worse than him because she might be playing the game, man. Like
I keep telling you, if you know the reference, House of Cards. Yeah. I mean, she is Claire Underwood, in my opinion. I'm just wondering. On the outset, she's this really nice person, but deep down, does she know all that's going on? I don't know. I'm speaking ill of someone I have no idea. So
right. But
it's just
that might eventually be in charge of our franchise. So hey, we're on your side. Let's go.
Get shut down by them.
Right. Now I will say this. Look, we have to ask this question: if he does, be pessimistic, play devil's advocate. If he does survive this, you might as well just call him Teflon Dan.
Yep. I'll give up. I'll stop. Yeah. I'll stop hoping. And, here's the other thing. I used to be embarrassed when the name right here on my shirt was in the news for stuff like this. I'm no longer embarrassed. No. I'm hopeful every single time. I'm excited when his name gets dragged in the mud again because I'm just so sick of him. I'm so sick of this crap that this franchise has had. Yep. So it's like, and some of it obviously does go with the name change and all that, but it's like, I'm getting really, really apathetic. And my concern is I hope my apathy towards the team doesn't translate to the football side, because that's what's happened with a lot of fans, which is why, people talk about, Ab went to a couple games, you went to games, and it's like, how many visiting fans are around you? It's because we're done with this, So it's a weird feeling to be like, I don't care. I hope it takes him down.
Well, right. And that's the thing. I mean, and to your point about that, going to those games, we went to 2 last year, and both times, the Chargers game, it looked a sea of blue, and the Saints game, it was all black. because of all the Saints jerseys. And each time it was just a big grill, big party, big cookout. It wasn't you don't have the home field advantage. You don't have our guys don't even care. Over by us there was a fight. Like nobody was even paying attention to the game that are supposed Washington fans. They got to do something to bring it back. A lot of people don't want to be associated with this nonsense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And look how the stadiums have been such a problem.
Right.
They don't want to be around him.
And I fear that if he is able to survive this, albeit slim chance, if he's able to survive it, like you said, your turn to apathy. I'm to the point where I'm just like, it's gonna. I fear it's gonna drive a lot of people away.
Mm-hmm.
We've noted the games, we've talked about it. The fans are already in those fan groups just attacking each other. It's
getting very toxic because people are so sick of all this. They just announced some new. I saw today that they hired some college student to head their like social media content, and people on Twitter just went after her, and it's like for stuff that she's not even a part of. She's got nothing to do with this. She just signed on the dotted line and got paid, and people are ripping her because it's a part of the organization. It's like we gotta rid ourselves of this.
Yeah, we absolutely have to. He said, "You fear it already has." Nope. Well, it's to a point.
Yeah.
Has it gotten to the point? You see Dan Snyder on the headline, you click, hoping finally got the axe. Oh, absolutely.
Well, I'll say this though: this is not going to be I don't think it's going to be a quick process. Because there is no way he's not going to go down without a fight for this.
Exactly.
He is going to sue. All he does is counter-sue everyone in everything that he's involved in. So it's going to be a slow process. It should be quick. It should be a quick thing. Literally, here the receipts, Dan, you're out. By the NFL. But it's going to drag on.
So buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
So.